So warmly welcome, mashallah, with another important day for OSHA general industry training, and the topics are again very much important: the fire safety and hot work rules, especially we are going to discuss. So since we are observing even today, a lot of incidents globally are happening because of short circuits and several other reasons. The fire incidents, especially in oil and gas industry, especially in processes we are performing like welding, cutting, grinding, or anywhere where there is a chance of ignition, we are still facing some fire incidents. So, as per your understanding, what do you think? What are the real root causes of fire incidents, as per your experience, actually? Why fire incidents are still happening?
Maybe spark grinders beside anything able to fire. Also, maybe short in electric wires if high load like that.
Okay.
Coming high load, maybe coming short.
Okay.
Just two in my mind now.
So, do you think poor housekeeping would be another reason of fire incidents? Would you agree with that?
We have another reason.
Yeah. So, and sometimes, equipment failure could be there. Sometimes we are using flammable materials, compressed gas cylinders, different chemicals we are using, So plenty of root causes according to the company operations we can list up, but ultimately it's a terrible combination of heat, fuel, and oxygen. If they all are meeting together and there isn't any proper control, then surely, because of chemical reaction, fire incident would be there. And especially in oil and gas, the biggest hazard is the fire and explosion hazard, especially in oil and gas, paper industry, chemical industries, pharmaceutical and others, And including in construction, several hot work processes are there. And sometimes we are storing a lot of chemicals on site. We are using a lot of compressed gas cylinders and settling cylinders and different kind of activities we are performing, So any small mistake and it's all over, right? So ultimately, basically, it's a system failure. If we have proper, kind of work permit system, certified people on board, and proper housekeeping, and fire watcher we're gonna use properly, and most importantly, we're gonna rely on prevention, fire prevention system instead of only protection system. And we always mention, prevention is better than cure. So instead of waiting for the fire incidents, work on preventing those incidents. So that is why we start from BOQ, and like you are in construction industry, and I hope you understand what I'm talking about. The BOQ, the bill of quantity, the moment you start designing your building, you start incorporating fire protection and prevention methods inside, and making sure any sort of material or whatever you are going to use for construction of this particular building, surely you have to think about, based on which international standard you are going to buy those materials actually. So then if the building is designed for 100 years, now I hope you will understand what would be the criteria for the selection of electric wires actually, for wiring purpose, because this building we are designing for 100 years. So what would be the shelf life or expiry date of those wires, or the paint we are using, or the doors, or the material, or the furniture we are putting in our offices in future? I hope it will give you some food for thought, before even we, like you are going to design a chemical store. So proactively think about what regulations must be considered importantly, so we can design a well-safe, ethics-approved, fire-proof, proper chemical storage area, and there shouldn't be any chance of short circuit, God forbid. like the wires quality is excellent. The lights we are using are fireproof or ATIS approved, plenty of standards are there, and that is why NFPA, National Fire Protection Association, is a great help actually. So as per their standards, we try our level best to design a very secure building, so not to let any fire incident to be happen. And what is fire? Again, I would mention it's a combination of fuel, heat, and oxygen. So how are we gonna keep them away? This is a real challenge. And if they are meeting together, God forbid, and something happened, the fire incident, then the protection system must be, the firefighting system must be strong enough. Like the firefighting team is important. Every individual, I'm motivating to most of the companies, make sure every employee of your company knows how to use fire extinguisher, like how to pull the pin, how to aim at the fire, how he gonna make sure, squeeze the handle and then sweeping properly and keeping the distance and understanding the wind speed also. So plenty of elements are involved. And most important thing is, if we talk about hot work rules, I hope you remember when we were discussing confined space, and I told you above 0% LEL, especially in a confined space, no hot work is allowed. This is a very straightforward rule. I repeat again, whenever LEL is above 0%, no hot work is allowed, especially in a confined space. And what is a confined space? A space, a place which is not designed for human occupancy, right? And have limited exit entry, and also having some toxic gases, or plenty of other element, maybe lack of oxygen, plenty of other hazards going to be there. So in that segment, OSHA, of course, help us, like before we start any hot work, what things matter a lot. And here, the greatest help is the hot work permit. The hot work permit rules, and even including the hot work permit itself, must never be ignored. Whenever any contractor is coming on site, make sure they are getting hot work permit from your company. Even sometime I suggest, if you internally have some sensitive jobs in terms of hot work, like welding, cutting, grinding, or so, make sure you're having some fire watchers supervising properly, and also the hot work permit system is fully activated and everybody is respecting actually. So in line with that, I'm moving towards another presentation. Okay, and that would be kind of a competition, and let's see how you're going to respond to it, mashallah. And I'm very optimistic. You will definitely give some right answers, because what I'm going to do is, I'll show one picture first of all. Like there would be three kind of rounds, and each round 5 questions will be there. Okay, and all 5 questions, we will see how we're going to answer them properly. And most importantly, the right option must be logically correct also. So let me just open that, just 1 minute. Basically, there would be 3 rounds, and each round would have 5 questions. And what I'm going to do is, I'll share, first of all, I'll show you, first of all, a picture. Then under the picture, you will see one question. And under the question, we will have 4 multiple options, and only one option could be correct. Either all of the above, or maybe A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, or might be true and false,
Okay.
So are you ready, Mr.?
Ready, inshallah.
So we are starting with question number 1, and it's a $100 question. And look at the picture first. the both pictures?
Mm.
Now I'm going to share the question. Question is, exit routes are required to be kept clear, free from any obstructions, in other words, at all times. Is it true or false? $100 question number one.
True.
True, mashallah. Excellent.
True.
Excellent. So here you go, mashallah. So we have another picture with question number 2 and $200 question is there. And look at the picture first. Now the question is, which of the following statement is correct about exits? Which of the following statements is correct about exits? And option A is exit routes need to be permanent clear access 24 hours, 7 days a week. Exits may be blocked temporarily during construction in a workplace. And option C is escalators and moving walkways can be used to access emergency exits. Or D is exit routes may be blocked temporarily by production as long as it's clear at the end of the shift. So what is your answer? $200 question number 2 is that.
I think
You can take your time.
exit routes need to be permitted.
Fire exit routes, you know, the fire exit routes. You know, we have some fire exit doors actually, and there are some routes also. Just to divide all shop floor, it's kind of a shop floor management also. Safely we divide areas. So in case of emergency, people can use that route and go outside the building to the muster point or to the assembly point. So that's the question actually. Which of the following statement is correct about exits? Yeah. A, excellent.
Should be clear access 24 hours per 7 days.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant, mashallah. Excellent. So excellent performance so far. So $300 question number 3 is there. The question is, but before question, let me show the pictures. This picture number 1, picture number 2, 3, and 4. I hope you would remember the exercise of spot the hazards. In all 4 pictures, the question is which one of the pictures above is acceptable? Like if you are a safety officer or a safety leader or a fire safety leader, in other words, which one picture you believe would be acceptable? And the options are, one is acceptable as you can still get to the exit. 2 and 3 are blocked but will be cleared at the end of the shift. 4 is good as the door is open for easy access, or none of the above. $300 question is there.
Number 1 is near the good, but have something is the way to exit.
It's up to you.
And number 2,
I'm just facilitating, you know.
La.
You can select any answer as per your understanding, Masha.
No, picture number 2, 3, 4, not acceptable.
Excellent, Mashallah.
Number
So
1,
you will go with option D, right? None of the above.
Oh,
Brilliant, mashallah. Brilliant. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means not at all obstructions are acceptable. No blockage.
no, nothing is up.
Always need to be clear. The exit routes, Excellent, mashallah. Now we have question number 4. $500 question is there. And look at the picture first. And the question is, which of the following statement is correct about exits? Which of the following statements is correct about exits? Option A is exit doors may be not opening from the outside, only opening inside out. Option B is exit doors may be locked from the inside. Option C is exit doors must be open from the inside and allow unobstructed exit from the building. And option D is both A and C. So which one is acceptable? Take your time.
I think should be open from inside. This sure.
Okay, so inside to outside. So what is the right option? A, B, C, or D?
B. B no.
Okay.
B no. So and now coming from the outside. Number must be open from the inside and allow. I think D.
Yeah.
To free availability to exit free.
Okay, so this B already you eliminated, so that is the wrong option only.
Wrong option. B no wrong option.
Exactly. So right option is D, like both A and C. Excellent, mashallah. Because you already pulled out the wrong option, and that's more than enough, mashallah. Excellent. Now, question number 5, and the last question of round number 1. $1,000 question is there. Just 1 minute.
Oh.
This is the last question of round number 1. And the question is, if exit routes are unavailable during construction, repairs, or maintenance, which statement is correct? $1,000 question is there. Option A is, as long as one alternate exit is available, it is allowed to continue working. Option B is, employees cannot occupy the area until the exits are available. And option C is, employees can still work in the area. And option D is none of the above. So what is your right answer? $1,000 question number 5, the last question of round number
1. Number B.
Correct, mashallah.
Should be exit is available before.
Absolutely, absolutely right. Brilliant, mashallah. Quite logical. Excellent, excellent, mashallah. Now we are starting round number 2. Again, 5 questions will be there. Starting with question number 6, $2,000 question is there. And the question is, only one exit is required regardless of the workplace layout or number of workers. True or false? only one exit is required regardless of the workplace layout or number of workers. Like if you are constructing a building or you have a manufacturing facility or you have a chemical storage area or any residential compound even you are constructing. So what do you think? Any hotel could be there. So is it a good statement? Only
the
one
exit,
exit? Yeah.
the exit depending on the how many people inside the building, also the near to those people place. So
Okay.
I think one exit, not enough. False.
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 Excellent, Marshall.
I
Great.
think near the exit near.
No, question number 7, $4,000 question is there. This round 2 is going on. And so far you're doing brilliant, mashallah. Generally, how many exits minimum are required from boilers, furnaces, and refrigeration plants? 1, 2, 3, or 4. They're talking about minimum. Yes, please. It's talking about minimum. Minimum how many exits?
Maybe 4.
Sorry?
Maybe 4 exit.
What the law says is minimum 2 exits are mandatory. Minimum 2 exits. Maximum can be like, it's your choice. You want to make your building more secure. In case of emergency, you need more doors for people to go outside and reach to the muster point. But minimum requirement is 2. No problem.
2.
No problem. Excellent. Now we have another question number 8, $8,000 question here. Question is, generally, the number of exits is 2 exits for 500 people. I repeat again, generally, the number of exits is 2 exits for 500 people and 1 additional exit for each additional 500. But ensuring everyone can safely evacuate is critical, which is correct. Option A is for a workplace with 650 people, they should have 4 exits. For a workplace with 650 people, they should have 3 exits. The evacuation drills will assess if the number of exits is okay, regardless of the time of the day. All of the above. Like generally 2 exits they are claiming for 500 people and 1 additional exit for each additional 500. But ensuring everyone can safely evacuate is critical, which is correct. So it's kind of a mathematical calculation.
Be 3 exits.
Okay. Brilliant. Excellent. Question number 9, the second last question of round number 2, $16,000 question number 9. A single exit is allowed when? A single exit is allowed when certain condition must be met. Option A is the number of employees could safely evacuate in an emergency. The factory layout means all could safely evacuate in an emergency. The size of the building means all could safely evacuate in an emergency, or all of the above. Because sometimes it's hard to, you don't want to keep two exits. So then there are certain conditions actually. So in those conditions, what would be your take on it actually? You'll go with option A, B, C, or D?
Yeah. B.
Okay.
Building mean all concept.
Option: a single exit is allowed when certain conditions must be met. $16,000 question number 9.
Sorry. A and D, no. Not all of the above. And now B and C.
Okay. The number of employees could safely evacuate in an emergency. The factory layout means all could safely evacuate, or the size of the building means all could safely evacuate. So the real purpose is to make sure all can safely evacuate and go to the muster point or to the assembly area, to a safe zone. So in that scenario, what is the right option?
Sorry, again?
All employees should safely evacuate. That is the number one condition. And in all three options, they are talking about all employees could safely evacuate. So it's a common condition. So in that scenario, what do you think? Which one is the right option? Can we go with D, or you will still go with A or B or C?
I informed at least we speak about two exits. All right. And now one exit is allowed.
Yeah, but actually there are certain conditions they are talking about. Normally, minimum must be 2. The law says, like our civil defense laws in Saudi Arabia, definitely they tell us minimum 2. They are ideally, this is the basic requirement. But if, unfortunately, if you don't have second exit, then what are the conditions, how big that exit should be, and how you're going to, what conditions you have to meet with actually.
A number of employees could safely evacuated in an emergency. And also, D.
D, correct, Master. Because everywhere he mentioning, the employees could safely evacuate. So the door size and the condition should be like that. So in that scenario, it is because you don't have any other choice, even though it would be kind of a legal violation, in certain case, but how are you going to justify if one exit is there? This is the way to justify that in case of emergency, this is how our employees can reach. But if that exit is blocked with fire or some other issues, then even that would be terrible actually. That is why the design mistake is always a terrible mistake. Okay, excellent, my friend. The last question of round number 2 is $32,000 question. Look at the picture. Your emergency exits are here and here. The question is, the exit routes must be located as far away as practical from each other. So which answer is most correct? The exit routes must be located as far away as practical from each other. So which answer is most correct? That if one exit route is blocked by fire or smoke, employees can evacuate. That one exit can be blocked by production and employees can still evacuate. That one exit may be locked and employees can still evacuate. Or D is that one exit may be obstructed and employees can still evacuate. So take your time.
For A.
Can you tell me the reason why you selected A option for the answer? Even though
Number A, maybe this road broke by fire.
Excellent, excellent. So A is
but C not correct because the exit should be open all time.
okay, excellent, mashallah. So it's perfect answer. A is the right option. So excellent, mashallah. So now we have last round, 5 questions remain. $64,000 question number 11. Look at the picture first. The question is, exit doors should open which way? Exit doors should open which way? Must open outwards, swing out in the direction of exit travel, doesn't matter as long as it's wide enough, or both A and B.
In my experience, I found all exit doors open outwards, but I didn't found swing.
So that means C in other means C is the right option, right?
Swing, ماشي, C.
Excellent.
Swing out and
yeah. $64,000 question number 11 is a correct answer, mashallah. Now we have $125,000 question number 12. Power operated or automatic doors should be able to be manually opened in case of power failure. Power operated or automatic doors should be able to be manually opened in case of power failure. True or false? Power operated or automatic doors should be able to be manually opened in case of power failure. True or false?
True. True.
True. Excellent, Master. Excellent. $250,000 question number 30. Look at the picture first. Exit doors must meet minimum height and width requirements. Which answer is not correct? Which answer is not correct? The height must be minimum 2.03 meter. The width must be at least 32 inches or 81.3 centimeter. Or rails and accessways must be at least 36 inches, 91.4 centimeter. Or doesn't matter as long as it's wide enough. $250,000 question number 13. Okay, so that means we surely have to have definited measurements of exit routes or any sort of doors as per OSHA regulations or others. So such kind of statements like doesn't matter as long as it's wide enough basically are not acceptable. So but in that question, D is the right option for sure again. Because that statement is not acceptable when we talk about safety and the safety regulations, especially relevant to construction. So $0.5 million question, the second last question, number 14. Look at the picture first. The question is, exit signs must be visible. What are the requirements? All doors must be marked exit. It is not necessary to indicate the direction of the exit. Signs should be visible, indicating direction of the exit, and best practice to use pictorial, not words. Signs should be in local language too. So $0.5 million question is there. $500,000. And look at the picture also.
Language. Sign should be in local language too also.
Okay, but here, what the logic behind either? Should we rely on pictorial images, or we should write the words also? You know, that's what is trying to. Which is the best practice? Which is the best practice? Pictorial based or words based? You know, like if you write everything in Arabic, and someone doesn't know how to read Arabic.
أيوة صح, you're right. I found it written in English.
Okay. So you will go with option.
Number C should be visible, indicating the direction of exit.
Correct, Marshall. $1 million question is there. Look at the picture first. Emergency lighting should indicate the exit path. The requirements are: the means of exit shall be lit up at all times while the building is occupied. Emergency power should supply lighting for at least 90 minutes. Aisles, stairways, corridors, and exit stairways, ramps, and passageways should all be lit up, or all of the above.
I think 90 minutes at least.
Okay.
D.
So logically, you're talking about all options are positive. So in that sense, you will go with D. So $1 million question number 15, Masha. Perfect. Excellent, Mashallah. I hope you would have enjoyed it, and this practice I added from my side mostly for the training. The reason is it will give us a reason to think technically, logically, because day to day we guys are dealing with different scenarios, different issues, different kind of challenges on site. So all are scenarios actually. You know, every time we're gonna decide, oh, should I do it? What is the requirement? How I have to do it? So in that segment, of course, critical thinking or kind of proper planning is very much important, you know, before we take our final decision. So I hope you had enjoyed, mashallah.